Hi everybody, welcome to today's episode of Mixed Feelings. We're really excited about today's guest. He's British, he's Guyanese, he's Polish, he's Irish, he's an actor, he's a director, he's a producer, and he's here today. We're going to be speaking to Jacob Seelochan about his new film, A Casting Room, which speaks about the experience of being mixed race in the casting environment. So Jacob, hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Yourself? Your hair's grown since the film, I see.
I know, I've really been trying to keep it under control, but no hairdressers open means this is what's happened.
Yeah, I'm actually in a good spot here because the camera doesn't seem to pick up the amount of hair that I have. It needs to be managed, but well, you know, it's a learning experience actually because it's the longest I've ever grown my hair. So in that way, I've had a bit of benefit of COVID. So I'm going to show a clip of the film, and it's actually a clip that resonated with me. But I'd love to hear from you in a nutshell. You know, what the film's about. What is this short film about?
So, A Casting Room is a fictional story based on my own experiences. I play Harris, and I also wrote the short. And Harris goes into an audition room, prepared to do a part and read for a character, and the casting director sees his skin tone and decides that he should read for a different part. And the short opens up that conversation about mixed race erasure, about monoracial viewpoints and the monoracial gaze. And it makes us think about judging people by the color of their skin, and if there's something a bit further down that we should be focusing on.
I don't really see you as mixed race, if you know what I mean. Those parts are for, you know, light-skinned black people. That's what we mean by mixed race. So yeah, those roles aren't really for you.
But Durab is.
Well, Asian parts are more of an if you look it situation.
Great. Now, in the clip that I've shown, there's in this scene, she talks about how the casting agent, how she only sees, well, when she thinks of the words mixed race, all she sees is a light-skinned black person.
Yeah.
Is that something that you have experienced, or is that something you've heard of a fellow actors gone through, or is that just something you sensed is the general mentality of people or casting agents?
It's something I've experienced. It's kind of all of those things. I've talked to other mixed actors about it. And it's something that I kind of feel is the general gist in acting. It's with acting and casting, obviously I don't want to cast a blanket over everyone, but a lot of my experiences have been that if you don't fit neatly into a certain box, you're going to be hard to cast, and it's going to be a lot harder for you to get parts and work and survive. So I have experienced, when I say that I'm mixed race, that it kind of throws up a spanner in the works, because a lot of people either want to see me as just white or, like mentioned in the film, although I'm not Indian, a lot of people, because of my features, think I'm Indian and want me to play Indian. And that's happened in an audition, and it's happened all the way through to being on a set and my costume being changed to make me look more Indian. So, you know, it really goes through the whole lifespan of an actor, a mixed race actor.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you very much for labeling yourself mixed race. I know that sounds a bit crazy. It sounds like a crazy thing to say for people watching, but we really struggle. We are mixed up. We really struggle to engage in conversation, or to get people to engage in conversation who are outside of what you might perceive to be obvious mixes, or mixes where you can identify where someone's from or their mix off the bat. So we need more people like you who are really proud of their mix and who aren't afraid to talk about it. So yeah, thank you very much for that. So could you talk a little bit about other experiences, or maybe some of the worst experiences that you've encountered or that you've heard of in the industry?
Yeah, I think so. I've been working now for just under 2 years. I graduated from drama school just under 2 years ago. And so my experiences have been limited, but have still been quite significant. If I think about the ratio of how many projects I've done versus how many incidents I can think of, is quite significant. I think the biggest one that I remember that really struck me was actually before I left drama school and I was still training, and I was looking for an agent, someone to represent me, someone to help me in the industry. And I had a meeting with an agent, and the agent obviously asked me where I was from, what my heritage was, and I told them very specifically, this is where I'm from. And they then told me that, well, you look very Indian. I said, oh, I get that a lot. And then they went, no, let me pull up some videos, your show reel that you've done. And let me pause it every time you look Indian. So I was sat in this cafe with this agent, and they were going through my show reel, clips from projects I'd done, and would pause it each time my face would be in a certain light, or there was a certain angle that made me look Indian, and they go, there, Indian there. And this is like a 2-3 minute show reel. So it was quite a painful experience. And obviously, being a little baby actor who hadn't worked yet, I didn't say anything at the time. I didn't feel like I could. So that's probably the biggest one that sticks out in my mind. I think I've always been aware that a huge part of this industry is suspension of disbelief. And I think we get to the point where we can suspend our disbelief when Paul Rudd becomes a tiny Ant-Man and goes through someone's body in a Marvel film. You know what I mean? And so
let's not talk about Paul Rudd. He's problematic. The film he did with Steve Coogan. That's for another mixed feelings.
Cross Paul Rudd off the list of actors. But I think that a lot of times we suspend our disbelief in these other areas. So when I see, there is, I think something really important to remember is there is just so many different makeups of mixed race people, right? Me being Guyanese, British, Irish, Polish, there is all these different makeups across the world. And so I think sometimes we have to suspend our disbelief to be brought in for certain roles, and we have to allow ourselves to kind of accept them. And also sometimes that means that I go up for monoracial parts, I go up for white parts. And I don't feel a problem with that, because I know how small the lens is right now. The industry is not, there is not thousands of parts for mixed race people. Yeah. So I still kind of have to accept that. But it's always, the difficult thing is when I go into a room and I never know how they're going to look at me.
Yeah.
And I never know.
Sorry, carry on.
I was going to say that I never know how someone's going to perceive me when I walk into a casting room. And I think that was what this film was all about, that I've had those experiences where I've come in expecting to be received with open arms, and then they've decided in that moment that I don't look right because of my skin color.
Well, I think you've achieved that. I think that's translated really well in the film. And I think there's also a case of like, when mm-hmm. if you've had the experience of being a mixed race person, often you can just detect when someone else is. It's really strange, but it's real. I guess just two more things I wanted to ask you. One is, what short piece of advice could you give to a jobbing actor or someone studying acting who is mixed race? What advice do you give to them in moving forward with their career?
I would say trust in your own experience, because even when it doesn't come to race, parts of you will be shut down by others constantly. That's part of this industry. So trust in your experience. You've lived it. You know what you've been through. So trust that.
Brilliant. And then back to the film. Where can we see it? How can we support it? Tell us more.
Well, it's currently on YouTube. I uploaded it to YouTube because I just wanted as many people to see it as possible. I wanted to make it accessible. Yes, I wanted to make it as accessible as possible because hiding it away is not going to change the industry. So it's on YouTube, and the best way to help is to share it on social media, to drop me a message about how you feel about it, and I'm always open for a discussion. Yeah, share.
Well done. I hope in the future, I hope you get a great response to this firstly, but I hope in the future it gives you the scope to maybe make something else that speaks to the mixed race conversation, because it's something that we all feel that the mainstream, I guess, is not really that interested in. So we need to fight through it all the time and make some noise. So Jacob, thank you very much. And everybody go and check out the film. We'll add all the links, and stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.